Everybody. In the middle of moving house, lots of client appointments, and a little bit of headache in my head. I thought today is time for a very fun topic, super close to my heart, which is why do I love The Walking Dead? And actually, what could it mean to you? So let's dive in, everybody. Hello, everyone. And today I am very, very excited to talk about this topic because number one, I just absolutely love The Walking Dead. It's such a great series, in my opinion. And I just want to check, is there anybody else that loves The Walking Dead? Let me know in the chat box, comment below. And also, if you do, who's your favorite character? I would love to see a little bit of a poll going on here to see which team are you on? And I'm going to tell you which team I am on as well. But why I wanted to talk about this is because I am the kind of person that, on the one hand, kind of loves to live in a fantasy world. Like in my head, I very much often, or perhaps even all the time, live in a bit of a fantasy world. And have like very, very vivid imagination when I'm doing my things and, just imagining things. But also, I very much love to think about certain scenarios that, in a way, can empower me in doing what I do. So, in today's episode, not only do I want to talk from an entertainment point of view, why I enjoy the show, The Walking Dead, so much, but actually also how I found so many different things in that show that has actually helped me in my life, and that potentially, what is this show or another show, could also help you in your life, or perhaps the things I'm going to mention would be helpful for you. So I guess the first thing that I want to mention about why I love the show is actually it's very much about a clan and about a family and a group of people that have kind of come together in an apocalyptic world and have to, look after each other and have to stay safe and have to prevent themselves from being eaten by zombies and all of these different things. And even though, yes, it is something in an apocalyptic world and there's like zombies, there's a threat of zombies, there's a threat of people and all sorts of other adventures that the characters have to go on, but it really is a story about, a group of people that care about each other and that want to do whatever good it takes to keep each other safe. And that's such a beautiful thing to me. For everybody else who follows me for quite some time, maybe you also share this opinion, because I talk about it quite a lot, is that for me, family is the most important thing. And I just really, really, really love the fact that not only do you see like different families that were actually blood families come together, but you also see like once these characters meet each other in the first episode and then kind of become family with each other and go through so many different situations together and get to know each other and really, look after each other in like the most extreme experiences. I think it's such a beautiful thing to see how a clan is formed and how, people have brotherhood and sisterhood and they come together and basically rise to another level of their capabilities. And that's the second part that I love very much. And I want to say hi to Josie. Yes, exactly. That's exactly my point. Josie's saying it's kind of like being in business and our FLC family. Yes, who would love that? And that actually brings me. That's like the second and the third point, kind of, because what I very much love is that what you see in watching the show, and if anybody's watching this and you've not watched the show, I really do recommend you to do it. If you're like small, if you're young, then do watch it with a parent or an elder brother or sister. Like if you're very young, I don't know if there's very young people watching this, but if you're an adult, then I still like really, really recommend you to watch it. It's so beautiful. It may sound really weird, like it's so beautiful, and then you see people fighting zombies, but the storylines and the way how the characters develop is very, very beautiful, and it really makes you think in a lot of ways. Well, at least it makes me think, and I know my dad and I are always like, talking about like, what would you do in a situation like that? It's just interesting to see how really different end of the world type of scenarios would basically allow you to see a different part of yourself. But I mean that in a good way. And that's my second point, that a lot of the time when we are faced with a very difficult situation, we actually rise to the occasion and we realize that we're a lot stronger than we think we are. Like, even if you think about it, if all of the sudden there was a zombie behind you and you're not very much into running, you would all of a sudden become a very good runner because you're like, wow, let me run, run, run. And that's such an interesting thing. And actually, for me, for those of you who follow me on Instagram, where I post my pretty much daily running videos, I used to first call them my zombie runs because I was like, I don't know, running in itself can be quite a boring task if you think about it, because you keep doing the whole time the same thing. And then I was just imagining, like, how can I make this fun? How can I think of a really cool imagination that would actually motivate me to run? And I was like, I can imagine running from zombies. So I used to post like a couple of months ago, like, I'm doing my daily zombie run, and I would literally imagine that I had to run and that I'm part of the Walking Dead and I'm running, running, running. And it's like you kind of rise to the occasion then, because you have to. And there's people that depend on you, and you have to go and save them, and you have to go and fight the bad guys and stuff like that. And I always really like those types of things, and again, imagining those types of things. But what I think is interesting, and that also is very much in alignment with what Josie is saying, is that a lot of the time when we have to, we are capable of a lot more things than we normally think we can do. And that's also very similar to business in a way. And I'm actually going to dive more into the business aspect of it a little bit later. But I was speaking to an incredible person today, and we're actually speaking about business and the thought of like, should I do business? Am I going to be good at it? What about this? What about that? And actually, this thing came up like, what if you had to? What if you have no other choice and you literally just you had all of a sudden you had a responsibility. You had to make this money. You had to go and do it in a creative way. Then you'd probably be really good at it because you have to. And that then inspired me to actually talk about it in today's episode as well, is because why is it often the case that things have to go really bad before we realize that we can do something? Like, why does a person have to hit rock bottom before they finally start to go, but like, yeah, okay, now I'm going to go and change something? Because you see it a lot, right? When there's these rags to riches stories, or these stories about people just having again to rise to the occasion and do something different and bring out that super strength because they're really, there's no way out otherwise. Like, for instance, very simple example, if you have been thinking about, okay, I want to start a business and I want to do this, but you're also at the same time comfortable in a job, like, why would I do it? I've got my paycheck every single month. I don't have to really deal with like the uncertainties in business, because in the beginning there's always the uncertainty that you have. Can I do it? What if I don't get clients? What if I'm not good enough at this and that? And all of these thoughts that every single person starting a business will feel. And it's kind of comfortable until then comes a time, like for instance what happened 4 years ago with COVID, and you're made redundant, and all of a sudden you have to find a different way to monetize. You have to, because you have to put food on the table. That I always think is interesting, because then again you rise to the occasion. Then you realize, if there's no way out, that you're much stronger than you think you are. And that's what I love about this show too, that you can actually see that there's so much more that we as people can do. We're a lot stronger than we think. We are a lot like mentally strong, a lot more mentally strong than we think. We are capable of quite a lot. And that then brings me to the third point, which is actually also very much like how the points of imagination and business, and really embracing your own strength, even if you haven't really discovered that strength yet, is how do you deal with challenges? And I've been actually speaking about that a lot in the last couple of episodes, because it's such a common topic whenever one as a person wants to develop in a particular area. You want to pursue your dreams and your goals. You're gonna come across challenges, whether that is in a business, whether it's in a health journey, or if you want to find the love of your life, you want to be a good parent, there are going to come challenges. So how do you deal with that? Now, in the last couple of videos, we talked about a lot of different things and handling it with grace, and being aware of that challenge is actually there, making you into the person that you are meant to be, and there's actually a blessing in disguise there. But one of the things that I actually also like to think about is, like, if you compare it to an end of the world type of scenario, first thing is that you're probably super grateful, because the challenges that you would face in a walking that type of scenario is way worse than the type of challenges that most of us face today. So that's one thing, like gratitude. Like, gladly, I actually have light and I have a warm shower and I have a roof over my head, and there's not zombies trying to eat me daily. So that's a good thing. But also, what I like is to draw the comparison between what these guys have to do in the series, and they have to go and find food, and they have to go and fight the zombies in order to stay alive and protect their families, and they have to deal with other groups that have evil intentions, and they have to deal with all of that. And if I'm done looking at what are my daily challenges, the challenges of, okay, I have to get up again and go to the gym, or I have to go and deal with a business situation, or I have to go and face rejection whenever I'm, speaking to a lot of people that perhaps don't know yet what we do, and how we can help them. And so when I look at those things, I'm just like, hey, that's my daily scavenge run, or that's my daily, fight that I have to fight. And what I think is so beautiful, and especially in The Walking Dead comes forth so apparently, is that you can really see what these characters go through. It's like really amazing acting, I think, or in my opinion, and you can really just see the stress and the, the sadness or the emotions in these characters' eyes as they go through their fair share of challenges. But then when I think of that, and then I think of my own situation and the things that I have to overcome, I'm just like, yeah, we got this. Let's go. I'm gonna be just like I'm gonna be just like Rick, or just like Michonne. And like I find a lot of, then again, my weird imagination, kinship or camaraderie in that, even though obviously these are characters of a thing. But then I compare that to what I am and the clan that I have with my family and FLC family. And it's just such a heartwarming thing for me to think about things that way. And it makes it so much easier to then handle the challenges and deal with the daily things to deal with, because it just makes you strong. And what it then brings to my point number 4, and again, this is not necessarily, again, the entertainment purposes, because I love the show. Just it's such a fun show to watch, and it's very exciting and can be very scary sometimes. Just like, you're on the edge of your seat. But what I also really like about it is the the part of realizing that you're building a certain resilience every single day. You're building a certain strength every single day. And if I was to think about it, and what the show portrays as well, is that a lot of people, if let's just say the end of the world was to come and there would actually be zombies walking around, a lot of people wouldn't be ready for that, and they wouldn't be strong enough for that, because we are all so comfortable. And if we're so comfortable in our current situation, where we're not even able to go and make a decision or believe in ourselves, or take a leap of faith, then how would we go and deal with that? So the show lights, like, put some light to that, is that you got to have a willingness to say, okay, I'm going to choose to be strong. I'm going to do this. I'm gonna not be a sissy. I'm just going to be, like, I'm going to be responsible, which is also a thing that we speak about a lot. And when I then compare that ideology of like, what if it was the end of the world, and what if there was a situation where you just really have to be strong and you have to be like all in and there's no other choice. If I can exercise that right now in the current life, in the current circumstances, then if there ever was to come a situation where things were really drastic and really difficult, then I know I would be strong enough to handle that too. And I find that a very interesting thing to think about as well. And if anybody has been following us for a little while, you know that one of the main reasons why we do what we do is we want people to be free. And we really have this big vision of building a strong community. And I'm not just saying, oh, physically strong, you got to be able to do all of the, exercises. No, I mean, mentally strong, physically strong, emotionally strong, spiritually strong, and just believing in yourself and knowing that you're responsible enough to say, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this for me. I'm going to do this for my family. I'm going to do this for the people that I get to help along the way. And we're building this really beautiful movement of sort of, say, freedom fighters, where you are fighting for your freedom and the freedom of your loved ones in whatever the situation is. So whether that would be a post-apocalyptic zombie situation, or whether that is our everyday life that we know now, where we're going to say, hey, I'm going to believe in myself and I'm going to make the most beautiful life that I can make. And I'm not going to be like a weakling, so to speak, that's just going to be like, oh, well, things are the way they are. And I'm not even going to pursue anything. I'm not going to do anything. It's out of my control. No, it is in our control. And I think that's something that I love the most about it, because it does, in my opinion, when I'm watching something, it just inspires so very much when you see the leadership that some of the characters have to step into, and the love that they give for each other, and yeah, just those beautiful traits of a really respectable person. And that's something then that I aspire to be like I aspire to be a strong, caring, and just all in type of leader that will be there for those people that I want to be there for, which is number one, my family. I want to be there for my FLC family. I want to be there for our community. I want to be there for every single human being that I can help and inspire. And I want to lead by example in the same way. And I hope if I can even be a fraction of what my dad is, or what my mom is, or my all of my family members, all of our FLC family members. That's what I aspire to be like. And I think shows like this really, in my opinion, inspire that too, and really bring out that strength in me. And I hope in you too. So I guess that's my little take on The Walking Dead. Obviously, there's so many more reasons why I think it's awesome, but yeah, I hope that this speaking about it may also inspire you guys, just about being the strongest person that you can be in life. And I'm not saying that you should always be strong, because there's moments when it's actually incredibly strong if you can accept help, and if you can take that rest. And it doesn't mean like you have to be strong, 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 but what it does mean is that, in essence, is that we are responsible, and that we take a stand and we say, okay, I'm going to believe in myself, and I'm living my life not just to get by. I'm living my life. I have the beautiful opportunity of life to do something good, something beautiful, and something that is magic. And I'm going to go all in to make that magic and to spread that magic. And that's what I hope this video will inspire for you too. Now, as I promised, I was going to share who is my favorite character of The Walking Dead, and I would love to see who your favorite character is. But my favorite character is Rick Grimes. Yeah, I'm Team Rick, and I know a lot of people that are Team Negan. I'm definitely not Team Negan, even though Negan is a little bit more okay now. But I'm yeah, Team Rick Grimes. So All in. Yes, Tony. Hoo ha hoo. So yeah, I hope you guys love this episode. And again, I do love to know who's your favorite character of The Walking Dead. And if there's anything that in today's episode you thought was inspirational, then please take it to heart and be the most beautiful, powerful, and incredible leader and person that you are. And actually, one more thing I want to quote my dad again is that what my dad says so beautifully is that we are all leaders. It doesn't mean that only if you're the leader of the company or the leader of the pack that, the boss, whatever, that you're a leader. No, all of us are leaders and all of us are leading by example and are thereby kind of exuding the right responsibility and behavior. We're doing the right things, leading by example in that way, but we're also empowering others in their leadership too. And I think that's a very important thing to take into account. I'm not just saying, hey, you should be a leader, you should be the boss. No, like who cares about who the boss is? It's like we all have leadership in us and we can do that in the best way possible within being the best version of ourselves. So that's me. That's it for today. I hope you guys liked it. If you're not yet following the YouTube channel yet, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell. And if you thought that this video was entertaining, inspirational, or can mean something to someone else, feel free to hit the share button as well and share it with others. And I look forward to see you guys on another episode tomorrow. Bye, everybody.